At the beginning of the story recap, a small fox is shown hanging from the corner of a rock, about to fall. The boy moves forward while seeing the fox in this issue. He will save it. The boy accidentally hangs with the mountain while protecting it. The fox also tried to save him, but failed. His hands cause injury to the child's hand. A child is shown falling down a mountain. The fox immediately descends from the mountain to help the child. Seeing no response from him, the fox becomes depressed. His tear falls on the child's injured hand. The scene cuts to 500 years later. The souls of foxes are depicted in human faces. We can say that there were fox souls in a human body. The souls of the young foxes gather in the place, and their purpose was to gain immortality. They want to pretend that death will never come near them. The soul of a fox is shown, which does not have a ticket, so it could not enter the temple. It was sad because he didn't go in and friends made fun of it, because he thinks he can't do anything about it. This is where the nine-tailed fox comes in, and she turned into an old man in a short time. He was the chieftain of the fox soul tribe. He said fox souls need a special item to become immortal and powerful. It is called Elixir of Souls and is found in their human bodies. They begin to perform their ritual. They get the black elixir from the human body of the foxtail. It means the thing that will give them power, but the black potion was useless. One of the girls named Azzy finds a red elixir. With it, she turns into a fox with 5 tails. Now she has become powerful. The old man was telling them that next month there will be a day when you will get the white elixir. After obtaining a fox, the fox will turn into a 9-tailed fox. The 9-tailed fox is known as the strongest fox. The old man says that the white elixir has been found once in thousands of years. With it, the fox turns into a fox with 9 tails. Later, the fox souls are shown in front of the mighty stone. This stone must give them their mission. The fox soul who doesn't have a temple ticket will show up again. Somehow he gets to the temple. He also moves his hand forward to the magic stone, so he also assigns a mission. It wasn't all handwritten, but it was happy to have something written. After the ceremony, the chief takes it to the place. She asks if he knew the meaning of the writing on his hand. He answers that no, I don't know. He says you can turn into a fox with 9 tails next month. It's a joy to hear, but it was for a few seconds. Then the chief says he was joking. His handwriting doesn't mean that. The chief says he will never get any potion. It means he cannot become immortal. He will never have powers. The chief says that if you don't want to come to your true colors, you have to take care of yourself. The chief gives him a knife for this task. After taking it, this fox soul moves to find its elixir. On his way out, he stole the chieftain's special stone. It worried the chief as it left, because he had seen many students die like this fox soul while searching for their elixir. He asks his companion to take care of 13 and to chase after him. It wasn't that powerful to search for his potion. Later, 13 is shown in the hotel and was in the village. A man named Zijin is shown looking for a man. He asked about the man while showing the others his sketch. In doing so, Zijin reaches 13. 13 had food, so he ignores the man. As the man walks away from 13, the magic stone he stole from the chief reveals that his elixir is nearby. 13 leaves the food and begins to find it. He gets to the priest who treated patients and thanks to that caught devils in his paintings. He heals people and takes blood from demons, as if treating a child here, and seeing this, 13 meets Zijin again. It had already met him at the hotel. After 13 turns, Zijin's donkey gets scared. He rages and kicks the donkey. The donkey also comes in a rage and attacks the 13 from behind. While flying in the air, he takes it upside down and moves from there, because the donkey wants to teach him a lesson, and the village was destroyed in their fight. Zijin tried to stop his donkey as it chased him. An old priest is shown secretly performing spells on Zijin. This magic will protect him. 13 is shown in the middle of the forest where the donkey fell and ran away. Meanwhile, Zijin arrives and asks to return his donkey. 13 does not have a donkey, so he flees from there when escaping from Zijin. Now Zijin was chasing it. After a long time, they reach the middle of the forest. They were both tired. As they sit there, they inhale. They look back and find a temple there. When he got there, the magic stone told 13 that Zijin was the man who would give his elixir. They also find out that Zijin will be taking an exam for a government job. Zijin is starting to behave nicely. He promises to bring him safely to the city. Zijin told 13 that the man I'm looking for is my elder brother. This donkey also belongs to my elder brother. I came here for this exam. Later at night, 13 shows up and Zijin was about to quit. But a man comes who has been given the task of taking care of 13. He forbids him to terminate Zijin. Except to terminate him, take him to a place where he will have no hope of escape. He gets scared anyway. It shows where 13 and Zijin stayed in a donkey. It wasn't a donkey, but a 13-year-old guard, and he's glad to see it. After the meeting, they set off on their way to the city, and unexpectedly they became good friends. After a long journey, they arrive at the place where the scholars were preparing for work, a job that Zijin was also preparing for. When they get to the academy, they decide to stay the night. Zijin sees a frog there and it was leaving gold on the ground. 13 becomes greedy and chases him until he brings him to the academy owner. The owner was sitting by the pool and the frog tongue attacks 13 from the pond. It drags along in the water. Zijin is also shown facing a giant frog. He tried to run away from her and 13 is also coming. When they escape the frog's tongue, the frog attacks them with its snout. Because of this, they fall to a distant place like a storm and reach the place while running away from the frog. They could not escape the frog for a long time. The frog attacks 13 and swallows her. Zijin runs away from there. He reveals that the frog is not a demon, but 13 was trying to scare Zijin with her guardian. Zijin again comes with fire in hand to help his friend. This turns them into frogs again. He comes here to save his friend, but when the frog stuck out its tongue to draw Zijin in, he set its tongue on fire. His face burns because of this and he spits 13 out of his mouth. Later we discover them while traveling by boat. The guardian asks 13 we should go to Kong Town and there is a girl who can tell the color of your potion. Zijin also arrives at the place where they were talking. When the guard saw him, he jumped into the water, turned into a donkey, and boarded their boat. Later, 13 tells his reality to Zijin and tells him that he is not human, but it's a fox soul and Zijin gets scared. 13 promises him that it won't eat him and Zijin also comes out happily and asks for medicine for his wounds. They are now shown talking. Zijin told 13 that he wants to meet a man named Wherein and is his role model. During the conversation, they are shown to their destination, which is the city of Kong. They go to a place where nice ladies welcome them. 13 she saw his guardian as a lady at this place. They brought Zijin here because 13 will get his elixir from him. It means a thing with which he can become a powerful fox. As I told you before, there are some colors of elixirs. They were given powers accordingly and the girl was about to say 13 the color of his potion when she saw Zijin. Meanwhile, two people take Zijin and say that two people are waiting for you. Zijin gets to the girl I told you about. Her name was Yinglian and she was beautiful. She tries to attract Zijin, but he does not want to approach her. He also wants to know the color of the elixir when he goes near Zijin. As she approaches him, the magical force pushes her far away. That was the power of priest magic on Zijin. Zijin feels that he loves Yinglian and intends her to marry him. Yinglian was not interested in his conversations and seeing his body as if she was scanning him. Because of the priest's magic, she couldn't see anything from his body. Zijin is sleeping and she goes to 13 and tells him that she didn't see anything on Zijin's body. That's why she couldn't tell them the color of their elixir. In the following scene, we see Yinglian in pain and learn that her soul is in bloom. Her guardian has this flower. According to him, it captures her soul. The scene cuts to Zijin being shown at the place where he is supposed to take the exam. And he asked everyone about his brother, but no one knew who he was. He prepares himself for the paper and his exam begins with the other candidates. Their paper was long and lasted until midnight. Meanwhile, the candidate feels that he has seen a ghost here. He tells everyone, but no one believes him. Everyone was a distraction because of him, so he was fired. Later, Yinglian is shown a girl who tells the 13 color of his potion. With a single jerk, he separates soul 13 from her body. She told 13 that according to the student there is a ghost. The spirit here captivated the souls of many students. Zijin is also included among these students. Yinglian told 13 that this is the best time to get the elixir. He says Zijin's body has no soul and you can easily take out your elixir. Zijin is shown and he met his brother in spirit. Before he could say anything to his brother, he turns into an evil spirit. His friend 13 comes to help Zijin. Even the 13th of May ends Zijin to get the elixir, but he has a good heart and wants to save his friendship. That's why he was helping him instead of ending him. But this help 13 does not affect Zijin and they are strangely trapped. Zijin was taken far into this trap. We find out about Zijin's brother, that Zijin came to the exam and his brother was also preparing for this exam. He died during this test. That's why he turned into an evil spirit here. Another evil soul attacks 13 and Zijin's soul is consumed by his own brother. This is where magic happens and his brother remembers his past. He recognized his brother and at the same time remembered his past. She leaves him. 13 and Zijin got their souls back into their bodies. Zijin asks 13 not to lie to him. He asks, "Did you come to me for the potion? If that's alright, I'll give you the elixir and sacrifice my life." But 13 doesn't want it now because he wants to betray Yinglian. This is where the Yinglian truth is revealed. He discovers that the girl is a beautiful spirit and was previously an orphan. She had none in this world, so people used her in the wrong way. As a result, she became irritable and took her own life. She turned into a spirit that eats human hearts. To preserve their beauty, they drank human blood. After knowing Yinglian's truth, Zijin agrees to help the 13th. Now he wants to free Yinglian from all this. He goes to Yinglian and intends her. But here Yinglian tells him the truth about her that he told him on the 13th. Zijin still wants to marry her. Yinglian is also going to go with Zijin. He runs towards the bridge. 13 was waiting for them. But Yinglian misunderstood that 13 still wanted to finish off Zijin. There is no such thing and she attacks 13 to save Zijin. Zijin tries to save Yinglian from the 13th. Meanwhile, another fox demon arrives and attacked Yinglian to save his companion. Zijin comes for Yinglian while leaving 13, but it was hard to save her, because she was about to die, and as she was dying she tells him that she loves him as much as he loves her. It later disappears and turns into smoke. Zijin likes someone for the first time in his life, and was furious that 13 had always lied to Zijin. At 13, he becomes aggressive. 13 also felt guilty listening to him. He's also trying to quit. Before he could finish, a paper appears behind him. Suddenly, 13 disappears from the paper. He reveals that the paper was actually sent by the chief of the fox tribe shown at the beginning of the film. The chief says 13 when the fox was about to fall off the mountain. The child who saved it was Zijin. This is the opening scene of the movie. There were 13 of them like a fox, and the boy who was saving the fox was Zijin. The chief actually says it. Zijin's body has a white elixir. It can make 13 more powerful. A scene years later is shown. Zijin searched for 13. After a hard effort, he finds 13 in the forest. He apologizes to him for the night he told him he was furious. Zijin sacrifices himself to give 13 elixir for being powerful. When Zijin takes the potion out of his body, it is revealed that he was not 13 but was his guardian, who came to take elixir in 13's getup. Zijin was found to have a white elixir from the chief. He wants to become powerful using the potion before 13. As he holds it, the elixir turns black. Like I told you, black potion is useless to them, so it goes away when you drop it there. As 13 knows, he comes there in anger to avenge his friend's death. He starts fighting his guard who reaches there. Guardian 13 was a six-tailed fox, so he was stronger than her. He beat 13 easily. 13 thought of his friend Zijin as he was dying. While thinking, his hand touches the elixir that came out of Zijin's body. The elixir surprisingly turns into a white elixir. Due to this, he came alive and turned into a powerful fox with 9 tails. Now she has become a powerful fox of the time. As he was about to finish with his guard, he remembered Zijin. He wants 13 to be a good fox. He leaves the guardian and the scene cuts. Zijin is shown again, and the confusion is that Zijin was previously dead. He was dead, but the reason for his revival was that 13 laid down his immortality to make Zijin revive. It turned into a little fox. After that, Zijin and the little fox lived happily ever after. Guard 13 is shown on the other side. Was trapped in the paper. It shows that this fox demon was responsible for killing the students in the examination hall, because it wanted to get the white elixir. He has an evil soul, so he can never get the white elixir. The conclusion of this movie was that evil is always defeated. Good people like 13 and Zijin are always happy. This is where the movie ends. Thanks for watching the recap.